People. Welcome. If this is your first time here, welcome back to Chelle's Closet. If you are returning my hair, don't worry, I'm going to get that fixed. Um, if you are a returning supporter, welcome back. Um, if you could be so kind, if you are on YouTube, hit that red subscribe button. And if you are on Twitch, go ahead and hit that purple follow button. Um, got a quick couple of disclaimers. Number one, there will be curse words. There will be curse words said um, throughout this live, however long it is. There will also the views and opinions that are expressed in this live are mine, and if you are participating in this live and those views that you express, those will be your views and opinions. Um, thirdly, thirdly, um, if you come on this live, participate in this live. If you come on screen, hello, Auntie Ducky. If you come on screen or if you type in any one of the chat boxes, you are giving me permission to rebroadcast everything that you have typed and everything that you have said, your likeness, your image, all of those things. You are giving me permission to do so. Feel free. I still have a cough from my previous experience with, the big C. I have water here. Um, yeah, so we are continuing the conversation on mental health. Um, October is mental health awareness. Wait, let me make sure I say this just right. October is National Depression and Mental Health Screening Month. Um, and I just realized that. So I was like, you know what? Let me come back and make sure, because we are going into holiday times, we are going into winter time. And, these are some of the toughest times. I mean, these entire year and a half has been tough, but we're going into the tough period of life where, people miss or celebrating holidays and things like that. So I thought, let me do a rewind. And I had a couple of people ask me to do a part two. So here we are with part two of um, mental health. Now, I know a lot of times when you say mental health, everyone is like, oh, well, I'm not bipolar or I'm not schizophrenic or I don't have eating disorders or anything like that. Yes, those are a part of mental health, but we also want to talk about anxiety disorder, depression, mood disorders. Like, we want to talk about if you're feeling like you want to commit suicide. We want to talk to you about everything because my goal with my life is to make sure that um, the people in it, not just the people I'm surrounded by, but you as the viewers or followers, that you know that you have a safe space, you have somewhere or someone that you could talk to um, if you need help. Like, I'm not a medical professional. I forgot to say that. I'm not a medical professional. I don't have a degree or anything like that. I just like to read a lot. And I feel like we need to talk more. As human beings, we need to talk more. Like, social media has reduced us to a photo, a hashtag, um, a status, a post. Like, we've been reduced. Like, when we have real life conversations, we are now just like sending emojis. Hey, Tamika. Um, so I wanted to continue the conversation, um, and just give people some time, space. The floor is open if you want to join in the conversation. Um, but yeah, so while I was here the last time, I started to think about when I be on here, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna talk about this. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, and then sometimes I forget because I start talking, and then it's just like there's so many different things that you could talk about or you could share, or it's just a lot. It is a lot, and my main thing is like, I just want people to know that they don't have to suffer in silence. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to laugh, but it's that. It's things like that. Like you've probably like Mateus, thank you. I hope I said that right. Mateus, thank you for saying that because a lot of times people will say that they don't feel like talking, but then they're posting on social media or they're doing videos or they're just not feel like talking. Like a lot of times I think that we don't get help. I feel like we don't get help. I feel like we don't talk to other people because we are more concerned about being judged. Um Me personally, I think maybe it's because of the journey I took to get to 41. I really don't give a fuck about what people think. Like, because of my business profession, I mean, I'm inclined to take other people's opinions into consideration. But like my life, like if I am hurting, like if you guys have been here, guys, girls, and non-binary people have been here since this time last year. You literally watched me walk through the process of healing and self-discovery, a journey that never ends. It's just you learn more. Like they say, you learn something new every day. Um, I learned since Sunday. I learned that I have a really, really, really strong sense of compassion, strong sense of compassion. Mateus, I'm not an expert or anything, but I will say this because a lot of people go to social media because they don't know. I don't know you, so I can type my problems, and because you have experience with those problems, you will agree with me. Like a lot of people are looking for someone. Again, these views, the things that I'm saying are my opinion, my views and my opinions. A lot of people go to social media because they're looking for people to join them in the place where they are. A lot of people don't want to hear the truth. Like we say we keep it 100, keep it real, tell me the truth, all of that. We say it. It sound good. What we it sound good. But in reality, when someone do tell of us the truth or they do say, "Hey, you are royally fucking shit up." We don't want to hear that because we don't want to hear people tell us about us. That's something that I learned on this journey of healing and self-discovery. Like I was like, you what makes you think I but when I sat back and actually thought about it, when I stopped being defensive and I actually just sat back and listened, it's like, hmm, you know what, that's kind of some truth up in there. When you get the reality of yourself, your voice change, it either go high or go low. I was like, that's kind of some truth up in there. But I mean, she's probably on there just because she's looking for someone to agree with her or for someone to tell her that she's right or she feel more comfortable talking to people that she doesn't know. Like that's a lot of people won't go to therapy because they feel like or they say I need to find somebody that's not biased. Everyone on this planet has some kind of bias, whether we like to admit it. Whether we like to admit it or not, we all have some kind of bias. For me, it's like I don't have. I don't know if that's a bad thing, but I don't really have reservations. Now I do know how to know, like I do know how to tell, um, like good from bad. Like people that's like really, I don't know. Maybe she's just, I don't know. I could tell you a bunch of different reasons, but I honestly don't know. I could go off like because I know like people would be like, I don't want to talk to anybody, but then they constantly posting on Facebook and then they're responding to the people underneath their status. Or I've seen a number of things. But for me, as long as you're talking, long as you're posting statuses, long as you're doing videos, I feel some kind of that you are okay. Not in a sense of like that, but like there is hope. Um I really do believe that we need to talk to each other more. Parents need to talk to their children, husbands, girlfriends, baby mamas, wives, whoever you are in a relationship, we need to talk to each other more. Especially given that we are currently surviving a global fucking pandemic. It is so many things that it's so many different things. And then I started like doing more in depth because it's national October is National Depression and Mental Health Screening Month. I started doing more reading and understanding because um I want to do what I can. Like if I could just open up the floor to say, hey, if we're going to talk about mental health. And I know in my community, that's not something that we are quick to talk about. Most times it's like give it to Jesus and let him work it out. Leave your problems at the altar and they will get worked out. They will poof be gone. But the reality of it is that they don't go away. You just have to learn how to live your life with them. Or yeah, I'm going to say live your life with them unless you find some other way of dealing with it. But in life you're going to have to deal with a lot of things, and that's another one of the things. Like when I think of mental health, there's so many different things. Like I said, like there's bipolar, paranoid schizophrenic, there's eating disorders, post-traumatic stress disorders, OCD, HIV AIDS, mood disorder, borderline personality. I'm just reading off of the list. Autism, um anxiety. Like there's so many different mental disorders, and like you hear about the major ones where you have to go, ADHD where you have to go and get like medication and things like that. But what about those anxious feelings that you have? Hi December weather. What about the feelings of anxiousness that you have? Or you're in your room, you don't want to change your clothes, you don't want to get out of the bed, you don't want to do anything like those. Hey D, like those are some signs of depression. Like we don't talk about the realness of things. And then that's why I say with the truth. We don't want to talk about like mental health in the black community because then we have to acknowledge that we have faults at times. And most people don't want to acknowledge their fault. I know I keep saying that, but that's the reality. Like we don't want to be like, damn, I fucked up, or damn, I did what I did, because we don't want to do that. We just want to be right, or we want to just. The more I talk about this stuff, it just be like, damn, like when did we become so fucked up? Notice I'm including myself in there because it's just like I have this thing where I like to talk to people on the phone still. Like some of my friends or people that I'm around, just they're cool with it, just a text. I kind of need to see your face. Um I kind of need to see your face, make sure that you good, know your tone. Like my son, I don't have any kids, but he's my son. He calls himself my son, so I'm not gonna tell him he's not my son because he's my son. I was like, hold on, like I literally speak to him every day, like literally, like calls, texts, FaceTimes, literally speak to him every day. And I was texting him and then I was calling him and he wasn't answering. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And so I, texted people around him and I was like, is everything okay? And then he called me. And he called me and told me he had a situation. And I was like, I felt it. I felt it that something wasn't right. And I was like, you already know I'll be on the road. It don't even mean I get on the road for anybody, anything. Cause I don't want people to suffer in silence. Like how many people do you know like passed away from like a non-violent where someone killed them, but like they passed away and you'd be like, dang, why didn't they say something to me? Or why didn't they tell us that they felt this way? Or why didn't they tell us that they were being bullied? Or why didn't they tell us? And it's like if you actually pay attention to the signs, like if you actually like know a person, like if you're a parent and you have a child and your child goes from rambunctious, loving to be out, loving to like loving life to like in their room all the time and they don't want to talk, they like shut down, they look like, you definitely want to have a conversation with them because something in their world has changed. Like we just look like, oh well, they're just teenagers, oh they're just going through high school, or it's just what teenagers do. When in reality it's like sign language. That's what it is. One moment. It's like sign language. They are non-verbally telling you that something is going on. But I know as a parent, I know you got to go to work. You got to make sure the house is taken care of, cook. You got to do all of that. So you can't be everywhere all the time. I get it. But also, you can pay more attention to the people around you. That's just me. Me and my thoughts. Me and my thoughts. I know sometimes my thoughts be getting me in trouble because I be just like, who's talking to kids? Like, are kids going to therapy for like what they experience? Because like if we keep it 100, right? Everybody enjoyed being able to go out, being able to go to clubs, parties, college, high school. You enjoyed being able, the freedoms, I'll say you enjoyed the freedoms we had before the global pandemic. Everybody enjoyed those. Then the global pandemic happened, right? You wasn't able to go to school and be away from your parents, or your kids wasn't able to go to school for some hours and be away from you, or your husband or your wife or whoever you with. Everybody is in the same place at the same time. It was like you were forced to deal with all of that, right? You didn't have the opportunity to be like, now it's like I really have to get to know you, or it was like, well, they're in their room on their iPads, PS5s, whatever, and I'm down here doing what I have to do, and everybody is in a separate place. Um, Hi, low. I want to say that. I don't know. It looks low, but hi, low. Um, but I feel like um teenagers are often like an afterthought, um, because we don't think that they are human beings that feel pain and have opinions or things like that. We don't think that because they're like, you're a child, stay in a child place, or I'm your parent, so you're going to do what I say, not as I do, all of those things. But has anyone really taken the time to talk to the younger people? Like, see how, like, those people who were excited, like the seniors and juniors, they were excited to like graduate high school and then go off to college, and then it was like, ha, pandemic, you're not going anywhere. Or if they did go, it was like the experience wasn't like our experience. Couldn't go to prom, couldn't go to any one of the things that they were like, you look forward to homecoming, you look forward to these things. And there was like juniors, seniors didn't have that opportunity. So like they're like, "Hey, what did you do for your graduation?" "Oh, we was in the quarantine." "Oh, we couldn't really be out like that." And so now like the world is open, kind of. I'm doing air quotes cuz it's kind of open, but um and nobody's really talking about what they experienced in the quarantine before the wait, no one's really talking about what happened before the quarantine. Nobody is talking about since the quarantine, and nobody is talking about post quarantine. Nobody's talking about that. That's like when I talked about my experience with the big C, right? I'm not gonna sit here and say I didn't think that I was gonna get it. I mean, I wasn't thinking out. I was just like, you know what? I just want to take the proper precautions for me. That's what I want to do. I stay in my house, clean, hand sanitizer. I'm sitting right here. I sneezed earlier and I put some hand sanitizer on my hand. It's just me in here, but you never know. And I was thinking like, we don't like, this is again my views and opinions. I think that the truth of this situation isn't really being shared. I will agree and say there is a lot of like fear mongering is, I think that's what they call it. There's a lot of that, but there's also not a lot of truth. Hello, Bernini. There's not a lot of truth being told. And there's a lot of misinformation. And I am not a medical professional. I'm just someone who had it and know a bunch of people who had it, some who have passed away and some who still have complications. Now, all I have is a cough. It's just a cough. It's not a small cough, but it's a cough. That's all I have. But I know people who have literally died from it, and I know people who have to walk around with an oxygen tank because of it. Like I've developed um allergies. Like when you have a little cough, what do you take? You take like NyQuil, you take like Dayquil or something like that. Yeah, that's what I was taking. Come to find out, I get the big C. Now I'm allergic to it. How? I've been taking it all of my life, and then I was like, wait a minute, maybe I was allergic to it all my life, and I was just taking it because it's like you got a cough, you should take Robitussin, or you got to go to work the next morning, but you're sick. Go ahead and take some NyQuil. Like when you think about it, right? December weather put it in here earlier. Like it's easy for you to come and say, "Hey, I'm having problems sleeping," and then you prescribe me something, melatonin, something to help me sleep. You didn't really help me. Again, my views and opinion. You didn't really help me. You just gave me something so that I can sleep. But what if I'm not sleeping because I'm so worried about tomorrow? Or what if I'm so worried about today? Like, when do we get to the root? Hello, Monday is now here at Thursday. Um, I said hello Monday because Monday I talked about getting to the root of the problem. But like help me get to the root of the thing so I'm not suffering with sleeplessness. Like help me get to the root of um why I walk in a room full of people and I feel anxious. Like I literally did not put one and two together because I'm a musician and I love going to concerts. I love connecting, networking with other musicians. But here lately, um, I went to an event and I was kind of like, oh yeah, yeah, I'm gonna bounce out real fast. And it was for me because, the big C. And I have this thing. I'm just gonna tell you, maybe it's a new thing, but when I go to places and people don't have their mask on, like I was in Wisconsin Dells. It's like a water park up here. Now, mind you, I wear my mask. I take full precautions still to this day. So I have my mask on, and there's this guy. I he open air cough when you get sick and listen. When I say open air cough, I don't mean he was just like no. I mean like then I start coughing. Like he did that the cough I just did, he did that in the open. And I'm just looking, you see, I just started itching just thinking about it. He did that in the open. And I'm just like, I literally was like I did that motion. And then I like turn around and go the other way. And there's a lady just sneeze. And I'm just like, what was it always like this? Or was it just because I got sick now I'm paying attention more? And then I started thinking about doorknobs and so when I be out, I just go out and hi, how y'all doing? Take a couple of pictures, say hello, and then I'm out. I gotta go back home. And then let me tell you, when at the bottom of my stairs, I have bleach wipes, I have Lysol, I spray, I have a whole like laundry thing. I take it off and then, grab a onesie or something and come up the stairs. I real life, like I don't want to be sick again. I'm really tired of this cough. I'm really tired of that. I said all of that to say this, right? I understood that I was gonna say I don't have any pride, but maybe it was pride. I understood like I didn't when I was sick or when something happens to me, I never shared that with anybody. And I felt like I never showed her, because not because of pride, it was just like I've always taken care of things on my own. So why should I tell anybody? Like anything that has to do, it's not like I don't listen. If I need help, I know how to say, "Hey guys, I need help." I know how to say that. That's the first thing that's gonna come out of my mouth. However, I didn't look at it like that until I had the big C, and then I couldn't move or do anything. And I was like, hey, I was supposed to go to the grocery store. I didn't get a chance to go. I can't even get out the bed. Can y'all um, you know, you were probably wondering like how you couldn't get out of bed. When I got some good people around me. I'm just gonna say that. I got some good people around me, have an extra key. Hey, in the event, use the key. That's where I'm at with it. That's how I know like I've grown, because never before would nobody else have a key to my house, because I just is you'll walk in on me. I just can't. I just can't. But the more I shared with people, like I was truthful, like, hey, I'm not feeling well. I'm gonna go to the emergency room. Now I gotta say this, right? Um, one of my friends, um, one of my friends got COVID, and his mom, like he passed away. He passed away on May the 30th. His mom was telling us a story of how he knew he had it since the beginning of May, but he didn't go to the doctor until the end of May. And so she was just telling us like, "Hey, if you get sick, don't wait. Go to the hospital." She was like, "Hey, y'all should get the vaccine." She was talking to us like, like we were one of her kids. Like she doesn't want to see that. She don't want to see our parents have that pain or whatever. So, we're in there. He's my like when I tell you I'm gonna do a whole his birthday is this month, so I'm gonna do a whole thing for him. So the moment I got sick, like she said he kept saying it was his sinuses, and then he kept saying it was other things. And then the moment I got sick, I heard her voice in the back of my head, and I was just like, I'm just gonna lay here. I got NyQuil, I got Dayquil, I'm good. I'm pumping myself with water and teas, I'm good. And I heard her voice, and then I went, and it was like, hey, you have, and I was like, oh, sugar honey iced tea. Life became. I'm gonna tell you this, right? Life got so real for me. It's been real 3 weeks ago. And I just it's been different. So I wanted to talk about mental health mainly because it was different. Like that changed me. When I think when I came here and I did the video. Actually, I didn't even tell Twitch. Sorry, Twitch. Sorry, Twitchers. I told my YouTubers, I was like, hey, it's not gonna be a Sunday night dinner and convo. I'm not feeling well, right? I don't rattle easy. I don't scare easy. I done been in so many different things. I don't scare easy. COVID had me shooketh, is what I'm gonna say. Like shooketh. I don't scare easily. If you know me, I ain't scared of anything except for COVID. That's it. That's the one thing that rattled me. After I did that video, so when I would come and say every time, this is like my first time, second, third, like sitting in this chair, like I never, uh, hmm. And I just thought, like, what if I wouldn't have said anything? What if I wouldn't have told anybody what was going on with me while I was in here? And I started to think about like YouTube and like I literally come here just so people can know like you are not in this alone. You might feel like you are alone. You might feel like, hey, I've been depressed. I lost my job. I lost my baby, my girlfriend, my mama, my granddaddy. You lost. You experienced a lot of loss in the last year. I'm with you. I'm totally with you. But here's what we not gonna do. We not gonna let that overtake us. We gonna grieve. We gonna give it the proper grieving period. What's the proper grieving period? Whatever it feels okay to you. We're not gonna throw it in the back of our head and keep and like take on more job or take on more hours at work or go party more. We're not gonna do that no more. We used to do that before this global pandemic. Right now, we gonna deal with shit because we gotta be better. That's that's I came here because I'm like, you know what? I done been through a lot, and I wish before this time last year, I was like, if I'm gonna do this, I have to be totally transparent. I have to be vulnerable, and I have to share with y'all where I'm at, and just be real. And I knew that was something that was going to change my life, and it has literally, literally changed my life. I said I want to talk about like being molested and then being 41 and people think that Jesus or anybody or anything is going to take that away from you. It it doesn't. It doesn't. It's never. It's not like poof be gone. It's not that. A lot of times people throw it in the back of their head and they don't deal with it, and so it comes out in other forms like aggression or different moods or depression or anxiety. It becomes those different things because we haven't dealt with it. And I was like, you know what? I don't want anybody around me to feel like they can't talk. Like it really got to the highest and when I started seeing so many young kids killing themselves. They're babies. They're babies. And I just sat and I thought like what is going on in their life where they just like I mean babies like 9, 10, 8. Like where did you learn how so many questions for me. How did you learn how to do that? Like where did you know like why did you feel like you couldn't talk to anyone? There was no one you could talk to like I don't want anybody I know to have that feeling. I don't want you to feel like you are alone because you're not. Like I listen, you're not alone. I know I'm like talking about mental health and you're like, oh, she crying. That's because I'm really feeling this. Like we're heading into October. Then it's gonna come November, December. Like we 3 months. We less than 24 hours. We are 3 months away from 2021 being over. I want to inspire you to look at your life and say, you know what? I've accomplished everything I wanted to do. I have gotten rid of things. I let go. I forgave. And when I say forgive, I don't necessarily mean the other person. I think a lot of times we focus on outward things, like we focus on things that are outside of us that we really don't have any control over instead of focusing on the inside of us. That's why on Monday I was talking about getting to the root of it because if we got to the root of a lot of things, we wouldn't be in the situations that we are in. Like for me, I realized that I um I never celebrated anything that I've done because I felt like it wasn't something that I should do. Like I shouldn't be proud that I graduated college. I shouldn't be proud that I scored a documentary. I shouldn't be proud. I felt like that. And then I started to think why. Like when I got to the root of like why. Like you worked hard to go to school, put up with a lot of shit. Like I went to a predominantly white school, like um I learned what culture shock was from living in the hood. I went to all white high school, all white middle school. I did, right? But when I went to college in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin. There were literally this is 1999 I went to college. There were literally 25, I want to say I'll say 30. I'll give it 30. It was like 25 to 30 black people in the entire town. And the majority of the black people that I'm talking about was at the school. So I I'm I wasn't just looking at the KKK from, oh, I'm sorry, I probably shouldn't say. I wasn't looking at the people in the hoods from the history books. Like I was going out of my college dorm and seeing these people walk through the dorm, walk around the dorm in the town. I seen Confederate flags. I seen all of these different people, and I'm sitting here like it is 1999, going into 2000. Like my grandmother and my mother had to deal with this stuff, and here I am looking at them face to face. I'm going to do a story time about my college experience, because while I did make history 2 times there, it was really traumatic. And I didn't realize how traumatic it was until I started processing the fact that I have a bachelor's degree. I don't even talk about the fact that I have a bachelor's degree. And that's because there was a lot of trauma tied to that. When you go to therapy, they leave no trauma unturned. None. None. Y'all see the response I just had? Like I literally just like that. I made history 2 times in 1 year, and I was happy to say that. And then she was like, "But what happened?" And I was just like, I didn't feel like they actually appreciated me because I was just another black person there, so they can get money. Like, so when I say like I have real life traumas, like real life traumas, and I'm here to let you know, like, you're not alone. I didn't just go to therapy and look at me. I'm out here. I'm doing great. No, it's every day. Like every day, I tell myself that I am okay. It's okay for me to celebrate my wins, and I'm not braggadocious or anything like that. It's just like it's things that should be celebrated. You celebrate graduating from college. You celebrate having a documentary, scoring a documentary, your first documentary you ever score, and it's in film festivals and things. You're supposed to celebrate those things, but I didn't. And then it's like I have all these wonderful opportunities in front of me, but I can't get over the hump. Wait, I couldn't get over the hump until I went on a journey of healing and self-discovery. And I sat down and I pulled all of the shit that was in the back of my head that I threw, you just be throwing it in there. Your mama called you a hoe, you throw it in the back. Your daddy left you when you was 2, you throw it in the back. I don't need him. I don't need nobody. And you find yourself in situations and then it's just like, damn. Or you become a parent and then you just like, damn, I see what my mother and my father were saying, or I don't want to be like them, or it's so many different things. And then if you grew up in church, you have a whole nother set of traumas that you have to unpack. I know you probably like, how did you put Jesus and trauma together? Jesus was traumatized himself multiple times for people he didn't even know. Mm-mm-mm. That's some kind of love, I'm telling you. But no, I just wanted to, come talk about mental health. If you have something you want to say, feel free to jump in. Um, I know I come here and I share my stories. Like somebody was like, "Why do you talk about yourself all the time?" Who else am I talk about? I'm gonna talk about me. I'm gonna let y'all know. Like, listen, uh, um, I struggled. Notice I use past tense. I struggled with asking for help because I felt like I did everything. I've been taking care of myself since I was 8. Taking care of myself. Thought I was taking care of myself because, shit happened to me. But that's been me since 8, taking care of everything. I didn't like ask people for help because I was like busting my ass trying to make sure that it was. But then I would sleep a lot. I stopped talking for a while. So I had moments of depression. I told y'all my story about having panic attacks. I had no clue what a panic attack was. No clue. I didn't know that that's what it was called. Like I would literally I thought I was dying. Like it felt like I was having a heart attack, and I was just okay. I'm about to check out. Jeez, never mind. Little Nas X, I'm gonna join you down there. That's what I thought. I thought I was about to check out, but then I went to therapy, and it was like, "Oh, you're having panic attack." Like so calmly, it's like, "Oh, you're just having panic attacks." What the fuck is a panic attack? Something has triggered you, and it's like, "Well, what the fuck is a trigger?" And then I realized, like, I started paying attention to things. Like you pay attention if you've ever said this or you ever heard anybody say this, right? I guarantee you probably said it before. Damn, I should have followed my first mind. Guarantee you either said it before, you heard somebody say it, or it's that first mind thing, right? Like you don't really want to go out. I'm just using this as an example. You know you really don't want to go out, but your friend's like, "Come on, girl," or "Bro, come on, it's gonna be turned, it's gonna be lit." And then you go out and some fucked up shit happen or something happened, and then you just like, "Damn, I should have followed my first mind." I realized that the body has a way. The body, the mind, it's all like intertwined. Um, it has a way of telling you, like right now, like if you are like, you know what, I'm gonna watch Shell on this live, but I'm so tired. Let me have a seat. Take a seat, let your body rest, have me playing in the background. I it's a rest. I am 41 years old, and I will tell you, I used to have that. I never get tired. I used to never say that. That is so crazy. I never said it, but I was like, I don't get tired. I used to stay up to the wee hours of the morning, but I turned 41 and, had the big C. I was like, oh no, I'm about to go to sleep. I be turning my lights off, turning stuff down when I'm not streaming. I might be streaming, but after I stream, I shut everything up in here down and I go in and get into bed. And then before I know it, I be asleep. Because I got to the root of it. What was the root? I was trying to preoccupy my mind, like keep my mind from wondering, like, okay, I need to do this. I got to do this. I was trying to stay busy so I wouldn't have to rest. When resting is what my body needed that rest. Your body needs that rest. I'm going to take it a step further. Not only your body, your mind needs that rest. If your mind is constantly going like, okay, I got to think about tomorrow. I got to think about next week, next month. I got to think about like if we're not even October yet. If you're already thinking about like Halloween and Thanksgiving, it's like slow down. Come on back. Come on back. Slow down. Think about right now and today. Think about did you sleep today? Did you eat today? Did you have some water? Did you take a vitamin? Are you taking vitamins? Did you wash your hands? How many times have you touched your face? Like, just slow down. I realized I was moving too fast. I'm gonna tell you, I was moving too fast, but I wasn't even going anywhere. I've been in this house for a minute and was moving so fast. Like, I saw something and I was like, oh, I can do this. And then I saw something else, like, oh, I could do this. And then I couldn't do anything for 4 weeks. And I was just like, you thought, like, people actually thought because they know me, like, not because they don't know me. Like, people was like, oh, you should be back to work. Or they were literally saying, like, oh, she'll be back to work. She'll be back to doing all of those things because, that's what she does. And I was like, y'all thought that was me before the big C. Since the big C, shush, it'll change your life. It's life changing. It is definitely life changing. I realized the importance of rest. I realized this journey of healing and self discovery taught me that um, boundaries, how important boundaries are. Boundaries are so important. So important. You think you have boundaries, but you really don't because somebody know how to get that to that one spot. Boundaries are so important. So important. I started to think, right. I was thinking about like in mental health, and I was thinking like, dang, you know what? If I wouldn't, where would I be if I didn't go to therapy? I literally couldn't imagine where I would be if I didn't go to therapy. And I'm just like, I am so grateful. I'm so I am so grateful for therapy. I can't even just therapy. I'm just grateful. I went to two different kinds of therapy. I'm actually preparing, to start another form of therapy. And it's just like you think about experiences in life, right? If you grew up in a household and it wasn't Leave It to Beaver, or it wasn't Family Matters, it wasn't like that, there could be some things that you have to work through. There could be. All of a sudden I got real congested. I don't know. There could be some things that you need to work through. Maybe your parents wasn't there all the time. Maybe you were a latchkey kid. I remember like having a key to our house at a young age. Like I remember doing all of that. I loved the EDMR, so I'm thinking about doing that again. I definitely going to try art therapy again. I'm definitely going to try art therapy. I'm looking into art therapy and EDMR and seeing how those are going to go. Cause I mean, at the beginning, like way, way at the beginning, art therapy was definitely that was my thing. Like I learned so many things about how my brain operates, especially like after having like losing my ability to walk and talk, and then to go from losing it to hearing them say you'll never, and then it was like figuring out how the brain works, like how it's all connected, right? Like don't quote me on this, like you would think like talking would be on one side, or talking and walking would be on one side, or singing and all of that would be on one side, and you got, let me look it up while I'm talking, two sides of the brains of the brain. Okay, here we go. You got the left and the right, duh. But you got like the creative side, the side that has like language. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay. You got the right side, which has art awareness, creativity, imagination, intuition, insight, music awareness, all of those things, right? I want to say that was a side that didn't get, that wasn't, that didn't, it didn't affect me, right? Because I could still sing. I could, no, maybe that was. No, yeah, no, 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 no. No, it was my right side. No, wait. Hello, Annie. Because I lost my wait. I'm looking in the camera trying to figure out which side it is. My right side. So hold on. I'm looking at the side of the brain. They say the left side controls your right hand. So it was the left side of my brain because I lost complete ability to walk and talk. But then I went to art therapy and figured out, which part of my brain or whatever. And then my left side came back and I was able to sing. That's how I knew I was going to be okay. Like, you can't tell me I can't do something. Even I still got it a little bit at 41. Ooh, a little bit. I got it a lot. Anyways, I have this thing when people be trying to tell me I can't do something. So don't tell me I can't walk or talk. Oh, I'm definitely going to show you. So I lost my ability to walk and talk. And then she was like, hey, if you could talk, if you can sing, you can talk. And I was like, what? I can't talk. Like, I literally was mute. Like, mute. Hi, Anita. I was literally mute. Not because I wanted to be, but because the thing happened. And so I went to art therapy. She was like, if you could talk, if you could sing, you could talk. And I was like, okay, cool. So then I figured out how it works. And then like my right side, if you looked at me, you would have thought that I had a stroke. Because my right side was like drawn. If you ever seen anyone who has a stroke, like their arms is like, and so they was like, oh, you'll never move, you'll never do this. And I was like, no, this lady, my therapist, gonna show me how to do it. And so then she did this thing, and it was like she did like this, and she never touched me. I don't know if y'all can see that. She never touched me, but I literally felt her hand go across my arm. And so then she started talking about all of these I'm not going to say spiritual things, but she started talking about these different ways of how our body interpret things. And I was just like, wait, what? And so then I went home and I'm reading and I'm looking, and then I was just like, so if I could sing, I should be able to talk, right? And then I started talking, but I talked with a strong stutter. Like if you ever heard anyone stutter, I did that. And so I wouldn't talk because I felt um I felt handicapped. Now, if you are handicapped, this is not anything to you. It's just for me, I'm going to say that the universe did a hell of a job my entire life making sure that I never got a big ego or I did anything of that nature. Because the universe stayed keeping me on my ass, picking me up. Like, I stayed having to get up off the ground. Like, when I had to stutter, like I wouldn't talk. I would just sing. I would just sing because I didn't want people look at me. Um, she got a stutter. I didn't it wasn't really about people. It was more so about me because I can hear myself stutter. And then I was just like, you know what? They were like, see, we told you, like a couple of months. It was like, see, we told you, you'll never do it. We've never seen anybody, especially your age. We never seen it. And I was like, hold on, I'm 18. I just was skating. I was just skating a couple of months ago. I was just bowling. I was doing all that. You not gonna tell me, not at 18, you wasn't gonna tell me I wasn't gonna do that again. And then I had to go within myself. This is the best thing that my art therapist told me. She said, you have to go within yourself. You have to heal yourself from the inside out. I can only do so much out here, is what she said. And so then I went inside myself and I was just like, what's going on? And I was like, I was afraid. I was afraid. I was afraid to talk. I was afraid to walk. Like I was afraid. Like when people put doubt in your mind, you will never. Like it's something about the word never that just be like, it's crushing. You will never get that job. You will never be married. You will never have a baby. You will never be successful. It's something about the word never that's just like it's weighted. It's a crush. And so it's like I'm trying to prove these people wrong. And at the same time, it's like, wait a minute. Can I really talk? Can I really walk? So it's an internal battle that I went through. But I'm 41. Y'all can see me walking. And of course, if you see my videos or anything like that, you see me, hear me talking, see me walking. But it's an internal thing. It's an internal, like you have to go within yourself and wait. I'm going to tell you because what I learned on this journey of healing and self-discovery is it takes courage. I know you probably like, oh, it don't take courage. You just gotta do it. But no, because if you've thrown so much shit, like if you think, like whatever age you are right now, if you sit and you think, if you take this moment and think back to when you were like 2, you're probably like, I can't even think back that far. You could if you really wanted to, but think back to like 2, right? You go back to like 2, then you think about um elementary school, middle school, high school, college, or maybe you was took a couple of years off, and then you think about the age that you are right now. Think about all of the shit that you went through to get to there. You probably had dated good people, you probably dated bad people, you probably was married, got a divorce, you probably had a job that you thought was your dream job, but then you got fired. You probably it's so many different things. You probably lost your auntie, grandma, mama, sister, brother. You probably lost a bunch of things. Like if you think about that, have you properly, would you say you have properly grieved those situations? I thought, right? I'm like, my grandmother, she passed away in 1995. I was like, oh, you cry for the little minute and then you think like, okay, let me get back to my normal life. And you think like, okay, it's cool. But then when you think like my grandmother was the most integral part of my life. Like she's the reason that I love so much. She's the reason like I'm forgiven. Like she's the reason why a lot of the things that I am. When she passed, I didn't understand. I didn't think about the significance of how big that loss was going to be. I didn't think about that. I just like I don't think we are taught how to properly grieve. Like if you ever got a whooping, this is a perfect example. If you ever got a whooping and they're whooping you and they're telling you to be quiet while they're whooping you. Do you do you know like now they would be like that's some serious trauma because you're whooping me, telling me to be quiet as to say that this doesn't hurt, but you're whooping me. You're using something to touch my skin that doesn't regularly touch my skin and I'm supposed to be quiet. For me, it's the trauma of it all. When you realize like trauma, you like, oh, you said trauma a lot in the last 57 minutes because it is trauma. Growing up in an environment where you didn't know if you're going to live to see the next day, like trauma. Growing up and your father's an alcoholic and he's beating on your mom, and now you're trying to defend your father beating your mom, and then he's beating you. That's trauma. We don't call it trauma because it's just like that's my father and that's what he does when he get drunk. It's what they do. But the reality of it is it's trauma. If you don't deal with the trauma will deal with you. You a young girl, you looking for your parents to pay you some attention. They don't have time for you. They gotta work, they gotta pay the bills. And then some older guy comes, or you a young man and some older lady comes. That is the weirdest thing for me, right? When a older lady goes to a guy, it's like, oh, that's cool. It's not cool, but it's like, oh, that's cool. Like, bro, you took down that cougar lady, right? Cougar panther, whatever they call it. But then when a young woman is with an older guy, like that was cool too. Like that's so crazy. Like that was cool. Like people was like, how old is he? He like 23 and ain't you like 14, 15? Yeah. That's not cool. Like maybe you watching this and you in high school and you dated somebody older. That's not cool. It's 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 not cool. It's not. This is why I say I think parents should have more conversations with their children because sometimes people go outside of the people that's supposed to give them love. Like your parents, when you think of your mom and dad, you just think love. Like they're supposed to love me. They're gonna, show me. My dad's gonna show me how to fix cars and play basketball or baseball, shoot balls around. My mom's gonna show me how to cook. I know I'm doing like stereotypical heterosexual roles or whatever. I know I'm saying all of that, but like though that's what you think. You don't think like your mom, like you don't think your parents are gonna be on drugs or they're gonna be so into the church or they just gonna not give a fuck about you. You don't think that. You think because this is my mom. She loves me. This is my dad. He loves me. You don't think that one day your dad's gonna be there. I think I said cougar and panther. Panther is what I was trying to say. You don't think that your dad is gonna leave. Like it's trauma if your dad was there and then he left. Cause it's like, where the fuck did he go? And then it's even more painful. Like, like if we think about these things, I definitely think they should add more categories to the mental health thing, because a lot of the stuff that I'm talking about could be seen as mental health. Again, I'm not a mental health professional, but imagine being a little child and your dad walks out the door, right? And you don't know. Your mom's not, oh, he's never coming back. Your mom's just like, she's being a mom, I'm gonna say, and she's telling you like, oh, he'll be back, or he gonna come and get you. And then you're going to sit in the window waiting for your father to come, or you're at the door, you're on the porch, or you like, oh, I can't go hang out with y'all today because my daddy coming. And then you get in high school and you realize that your daddy is never coming. And then one day you see your dad out with a whole nother family and he taking care of them, but he gone. And now you mad at your mama because your daddy gone, and you taking it out on her when it's like, no, I was here. I was making sure you was good. I didn't want you to look at him negatively, or even vice versa, where the guy was like, I didn't want you to look at your mom negatively because I mean she was just in a spot. We don't talk about those things. Like the shit I feel like we should talk about, we don't talk about. And then it's like, who are you? I'm Shell, and I feel like mental health is something that we need to talk about. I know a lot of people don't want to be classified as depressed. A lot of people don't want to be like, hey, like it wasn't easy for me to be like, I have anxiety. I didn't even know what the fuck anxiety was. But when my therapist was telling me what it was, I was like, oh yeah, I have that all the time. I never knew that what that was. Like, you get ready to go in somewhere and your body tense up, and I think if a lot more people understood like trauma and triggers and things of that nature, like you ever been talking to somebody, just having a regular conversation. Like I probably triggered y'all a bunch while I'm just talking. But you ever have a conversation with somebody and then y'all the dialogue is going back and forth and it's smooth, and you say something and then the person get real defensive and now they're being angry, and then it's all, and you're like, wait, what happened? Wait, hold on, what, they ready to fight? Wait, hold on, what happened? They were triggered by something. And it wasn't not necessarily you. It's like something that someone said. Like I when I go to the when I go to the restaurants, like fast food restaurants with other people, and then like you hear the people yelling at the server, or the people that take the order, you hear them yelling like, y'all got my motherfucking order wrong, and then nobody tell you to come to work right here. You're not really mad at that person that's serving you them french fries and that burger or the chicken or whatever. You're not really mad at them. You just had a fucked up day. Or like parents who have a can't pay a bill, or whatever the parent situation is, right? And then instead of you dealing with it as a parent, like you taking some time and saying, let me go over here and deal with this shit over here, you decide to take it out on your child. Like now you're yelling at your child. Maybe your husband decided he wants to leave you. Now you looking at your child like you look just like your fucking daddy. Like you're putting that, we put so much trauma on people. So life is such a delicate thing, but at the same time, it can be gone in an instant. And I definitely wanted to talk about this mental health. I know I'm gonna keep saying mental health because it probably just deposited in the back of your head, and then your body is gonna respond. It's like you'll hear mental health, and then you're gonna be like, let me deal with this shit. Because if you think about it, right, you ever was in a relationship and then you said, I have trust issues. You just met this person. How did you have trust issues with the person you just met? Impossible. You just met them. What it is your issues with trust came somewhere between zero and the moment that you can acknowledge that you have trust issues. Maybe it was your father saying that, he was gonna come back and get you. Maybe it was your mama saying she was gonna take you to Chuck E. Cheese or promising you the new Jordans or Imma take you to school in the morning, and she was too tired from cleaning up the whole house and she couldn't get up to take you in the morning. Like maybe that's where your trust or not even there. Maybe you thought your coach was gonna help you get into college and they didn't. And you just like, I'm not gonna trust anybody to do anything else for me. Me, when I was younger, I took on a role as an adult at 8. I didn't want to, but I'm looking at my little brothers like, I mean, hey, my mother was either at work all the time or at church. So I was like, hey, like who gonna look out for us? Luckily we had an old school grandma who was like, y'all gonna come over here. We had when I tell you, they don't make soul food like that no more. I'm sorry, I had a moment. Soul food. Um Dinners every night. Like people was like, "That's not unrealistic not to to have dinners every night." Why isn't it? Like I remember that. I remember parents would cook in the kitchen. You wasn't out to eat all the time. It was cook in the kitchen, and then they would to include you in the whole thing. They would, hey, what do you want to eat tonight? You could cook it, and then they'll be in there supervising. But I remember those things. Like I was just talking to my brother earlier and I was like, "You remember your mother sent us to Saturday school?" He's like, "I don't remember that." He was young though, but I remember going to Saturday school where we learned like computer software and coding and all that stuff. And I was just tripping out because I was like, she stayed keeping us busy. Like she would buy us like we had like Tetris and Scrabble and like all it was always like things to keep us like I remember we go to our grandmother's house and she was like, "Hey, pick an encyclopedia and write out 10 words or just read." Like we would read. Reading was fundamental. Like it's still fundamental cuz I still be reading. But like it's so different from now. Like now I look at my nieces and nephews and they know how to like they're little. Like if you seen Cam and Bobo, they little and they know how to work a phone or a tablet. What? Like people if you drive like they literally have laws. If you ever rode on a rail on a highway, there's a big sign that say "Don't text and drive" or "This could be your last text." It's always something that's up there, and people still have their phone. I'm driving right, and I be looking over, and I'm like, "How are you driving with your phone right here?" Like people phones, both hands be on a phone right here, and I'm just looking like, "How is that possible?" Like you do know that you're not paying attention, and then it's like a split second. You look away for a split second, and your life and everybody around you life can change. A split second. I'm here. I know you're probably like, you didn't really talk about mental health. I actually did multiple things. I talked about anxiety, depression, panic attacks. Those are the worst. The worst. And then if you like it was weird for me to try to explain to somebody what a panic attack was um because it's not like when you say that you have cancer or you say that you broke a bone or something, like people can things that people can see, they'll sympathize with you. Like it's like, oh yeah, we see you have a cast on, we see like it's but the invisible things is like, yeah, you just being lazy. It's not that I'm just being lazy. I really don't have the energy. It's just I can't do it. I can't. And I'm saying that I can't, but then I have to deal with you saying that I'm lazy, that I just don't want to do or um any one of those things. When in actuality there is really something going on with me. Like real life something going on with me or even like right now if you're watching this and you're like, I always felt like something was weird or something was off. Do not continue with that. I feel like something is weird. go get some help. Because the last thing you want to do is like get to a point where it's just like you just explode, or you just be so angry, or you just have that moment, you know? You don't want to get to that point. Like people in addiction say you hit rock bottom. You don't want to, like, when you're on the you're going, when you're going down. You don't want to get down there and be like, "Ooh." So if you see yourself going, you see yourself not wanting to get up and get dressed or go out, or I mean, we are in a pandemic, but if you're different than what you normally are, get some help. How do you get help? Um Reach out to there's virtual, you can attend therapy virtually. So like just do a search for mental health therapists in your area, or art therapy in my area. But get some help. Do a Google search. Like I know they have like brochures, or like if you feel like you're depressed, like what is depression? Depression is your mood changes. There's they have a seasonal depression. This is why I said I want to, it's October, November, December. It's like the season of family, the season of holiday. It's winter time. People don't want to hang out much, be too cold or whatever, but it's seasonal. There is a such thing as seasonal depression. And you probably just like, no, it's just cold. I'm just not. It's a thing called seasonal depression. So even like the smallest thing, you probably just be like, oh, I'm not depressed, or I don't got anxiety, or I don't have this. It could be a symptom of that. It could be. And that's why I just want to come and encourage you. Like, if you feel not yourself, talk to somebody. Talk to someone that you can trust. And I'm going to say the word trust, because a lot of people, that be the thing that they say, I'm not going to go to therapy because I don't trust them people, I don't know them. And then you tell them to talk to somebody that they can trust. There's nobody I can trust. I'm surrounded by people I don't trust. I don't trust my mama because she did this. I don't trust my grandma because she did this. I don't trust my sister because, like, you can list so many different things. That means that you have some trauma tied. Trust and trauma. Trauma. Um, they say that depression is one of the most common mental disorders in the United States. It can happen at any age. Y'all can tell I'm reading right now. I have like one, two, three, four, five, six different tabs up, because I'm like, okay, I want to do my part for October is National Depression and Mental Health Screening Month. So of course I'm going to go get me a health screening, because I want to make sure I'm good. Like, the journey of healing and self discovery for me is making sure that I am okay, not just weight wise, not just eating right wise, but like make sure I am really okay. Like, have I dealt with the traumas of my childhood? Have I dealt with um living in the hood and going to all white schools? Like, you probably like that, that's a privilege. Yeah, it's a privilege, but the things that come with that privilege is a bit much. Um, I wouldn't, like people would be like, if you could do it all over again, would you take it back? And I always be like, no. Why? You wouldn't want to? I don't know how it would have turned out. Hey, Ray, I don't know how it would have turned out. I honestly could say I don't know how I would have turned out. I could have been, oof. I can't even think about it. I don't. I wouldn't trade anything. You wouldn't trade none of the hard shit that you went through. No, because at this moment, right here, at this moment, right here, right now, um, I see what those things created in me. Those situations, I see all of that. It created um, caring, uh, a strong-willed, um, and it created a loving. It created me into something that I like. You look at like LeBron James, or you look at Holly Berry, or just somebody that's a celebrity, and you look at them and you like, man, I wish I could do like that. But then you never know. Like I used to hear my godmother, she's no longer with us, but she used to say, um, everybody wants everyone else's life, but they don't know what they went through to get there. And I remember reading about Holly Berry, like she was in an abusive relationship and he hit her so hard, like she lost hearing in her ear. And I was just like, I never would have thought about that. I never like she's Holly Berry. Like I was literally telling someone like, um, the Beehive, please don't come for me because I'm rocking with y'all now. Before, like I wasn't really rocking with Beyonce. I wasn't. I mean, she's cute, she could sing, and she could dance. Okay. But boy, when Beyonce came out and she did that one on one, um, 1+1, whatever it is, and she was singing in her dressing room. And I said, she's singing from a different place for me. And then, she had blue, and then, it was like, this motherfucker Jay-Z done cheated on Beyonce. Whoo! Mm-mm-mm. Allegedly. I'm sorry. Jay-Z allegedly cheated on Beyonce. And then her music just took a different, it just was different. And for me, it was like, I like music that is different. Like I like music where people sing it and they actually enjoying what they sing. Like I love that kind of music. Like that's what I love about the old school music, because it was like hard. It was so much hard work and dedication and commitment went into that music. And it was just like, but when you think about, everybody has a story, and it's not our place to discount somebody's story. You're not, if you have, you know, depression, if you are bipolar, like your story isn't too different from mine. We both have mental health problems. I'm not bipolar or anything like that. I'm just saying, like, we both have things that we need help with. And me, in my 41 years of living, I would say I would rather get help than to act like I don't have it. I would rather get help. I don't drink to this day because I realized that I was only drinking to numb the pain that I was feeling. And then as I was drinking, I realized that I don't get drunk. Like it was like I was immune to the actual alcohol. So it's like, mm, yeah, this probably is a waste of my time. And it was just like, well, I need to find something else. So then I started working, and I would work. Like I would do triples, doubles. I would just work, 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 work. Cause as long as you working, you don't have to think about shit. And then it was like, as long as I'm throwing my cares on Jesus and at the altar, I don't have to think about it anymore. But the reality of it, it was still there. I still was thinking about it. I'm still like, well, what the fuck? What's up, Jesus? You ain't gonna take this. You ain't gonna like get rid of it. You 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 see, I'm struggling down here. You see, and then it was like, go to therapy. And I went to therapy, and it was like, damn. And if you grew up in church, or you have this thing, like they gonna put shit in my head, they gonna make me start believing in a devil, or they gonna change my They don't do that shit. Like I'm gonna tell you, anybody in here that went to therapy, they'll tell you they don't do that shit. It's more so focused on you. All they do is ask you questions about you. They barely be talking. Y'all be seeing those little people be doing memes, or when you see like the little couch and shit. Like the funny thing is, when I first walked in and I saw a fucking couch, I was laughing so hard. It was a serious situation, but I was like, because you see the people laid back on the couch, and then you see the person with their notebook, um, and a pen, and it's like it be real. It be like that real time, but I didn't lay down at any time. Yeah, I didn't lay down at any time. I sat in a chair and I sat on the couch. But while I was in there, it wasn't like, well, I think that it wasn't none of that. I was actually looking for that. Like, okay, so you gonna tell me like, the magic secret, the secret to how I'm gonna, deal with it. Like keeping it all the way 100, right? I looked at my previous situation that I was in, and I was like, I can see where I took a lot of shit because I felt like I deserved that. I literally felt like took a lot of shit because I felt like I deserved it. Like, but the reality of it is I deserve, or I'm not even gonna say I deserve. Um, I would love to be with someone who um can look at me and see how valuable I am and be willing to go on this journey with me. Cause what we all sometimes forget is that life is a fucking journey. You get kicked down the mountain, like it's the mountain up there. Everybody's trying to get up the mountain, right? Some people want to go from the bottom of the mountain to the top. They want to catch that elevator, that helicopter. They just want to go from the bottom to the top. They don't want to go to the nooks and crannies and get up there and meet the people as they going up. They just want to go from the bottom to the top. Me, I told y'all, life just made sure like even when I want to be talking my shit, like yeah, I be doing, but I don't really do that because I was like, what is that going to bring me? What does that bring me? Like shitting on other people, what does that bring you? If you are someone that shits on, what does that bring you? Did that make you feel better? Did that make you feel like, oh yeah, I showed them? For me, it's just like no. Like I always talk about the people that be outside of the gas. I don't know if they be outside of the gas stations where y'all live. The gas stations, the fast food restaurants, that stand in the median here. Um, I never will treat a homeless person like a homeless person, or because like a lot of people aren't just homeless because like they're on drugs or anything like some people have mental illnesses and they weren't diagnosed, so they're just there and they're comfortable there. Like you're like, how do you get comfortable being homeless? Like I before I was homeless, I didn't think that it was possible, but then it's like it's minimal. Like you don't have to worry about lights and gas. You don't have to worry about all this stuff. You don't have to worry about that. Like you don't have to worry about people nagging you if that's what people be saying. Nagging, you don't have to worry about answering to people. You could just be out here. And some lives were just that bad. Or some people just detached from life. And they just is like, I would just be out here. Like I remember watching a story where the one man was like, um he sat out there with a sign and was asking people to like give him some change. Like he'll wash your windows or he'll do whatever for some change. And one man told him to get a job, and he was like, "You look at me and you think that I didn't apply for a job or I'm not trying to go get a job." He was like, I have a little phone. He's like, I don't look like this when I go to job interviews. I go and clean myself up and I go on these job interviews, but they're not trying to hire me. I don't have a home. I don't have, and I was just like, how many people that are actually outside really want to be outside? And then that's when I kind of started watching Soft White Underbelly. If you haven't, um now I'm promoting another YouTube channel, but I really think that if you haven't checked this channel out, Soft White Underbelly is a good channel to watch. Um mainly because the guy interviews people on Skid Row. Not just on Skid Row, he interviews people that used to be on Skid Row and now they're like clean. And now they're like living, they're doing better. And he does this things where he shows you the first how they first came and they were like bad, and then he shows you like the transition of how how they were. And I was just watching and I'm hearing, and a lot of people were like, I was molested by my uncle, grandma, daddy, whatever. I was molested, or nobody cared, or like it's reoccurring things. Like you can go and watch them, and it's reoccurring things, and it's just like, I just watched one. Uh, I just watched. I think her name was Tiana. She's a black woman, and she was saying like she was 11. See, I done got emotional. She said she was 11 and her mother, like she was getting molested, I think from like 5 to 11. And then her mother passed away in front of her. Like she called the police and they thought she was playing. She called, 911. They thought she was playing. And her mother literally died in front of her. And so then she said family members took advantage of her. She had a baby at 11, 12. She was one of those ages where you shouldn't be having babies. She had a baby. And then she said she started having babies after that. I said, 11? Your mama just died right here. Your mama just died. And then she said so she started smoking crack cocaine. But she's 10 years clean now, but it's that journey. I did see Amanda and I loved Amanda. And I say love because Amanda is now a resident of heaven. Um, I loved it. I loved like the transition. Like if you like when I tell you he shows you the transition of these different people, like he shows you the transition. He don't hide it. He don't like put no. He shows you the different transition. And it's so crazy because some of them you hear them talk and you just be like, wow. Like I never, and some of them you look at them, you never would know like they were, you would never know, you would never think about it. Cause we so used to see it. We have this like when people say gay, there's like this stereotype that, if you're a girl, you got braids to the back and you gonna be trying to look like a man. If you're a guy, you're gonna be wearing purses and stuff. Like we have those things. But like when you look at some of those people, when you go watch it, Amanda's story was so heartbreakingly inspiring because they know that at the end she was doing okay and she was actually inspiring her roommate to like be open more. Like it was nice to see her from when you first saw her and she was like completely like whew, and then you saw her at the end and it was just like good job, Amanda, good job. um that channel though, it just like it's like that channel. And then um there's a street, there's a block. I'm pretty sure every state, everywhere has one of these blocks, right? Um, but there's a street in Philadelphia, and the people are literally out there, like they're literally just out there. They're sitting out there. They're getting high, and then they're just out there. And then like the people that's like showing these channels on YouTube, like they would interview some of the people, and it's just like, yeah, some of them are just like, you know what, I'm gonna be a drug addict or whatever for the rest of my life, whatever, just leave me alone. But there's some of them people that's just like there's a 23-year-old girl that was out there. So it makes me emotional because I just be thinking like, what if I didn't have people around me when like molestation or rape or fucked up shit happened to me, like I that could have been me. I know you probably like, yeah, but you no, that could have been fucking me. Like when I tell y'all, when I think about like being homeless, like I literally had no place to go. Like none. Like you would think like people you would think like you helped everybody, you did everything for everybody. And then when you get in a situation and people are like, "Oh no, I can't help you," or "You can't." People had extra bedrooms in their house. All of the you start to think about all this shit. Like I helped you pay your rent. I helped you pay your like you start to think about all of this. Not like I did this, but you should do that for me. That's pretty much what it was. But you're thinking like, you gonna have my back, right? You thinking like, you got me. We hanging out all the time. You got me. But I literally had no fucking where to go. I was literally sleeping in a fucking car. A car, and it wasn't even my car. Everybody else, they was going home today. I was sleeping in a fucking car. Like I pay my bills all the time on time. The situation, I wasn't homeless because I wasn't paying. It was a situation I was a part of. Like, it's like, hey, we gonna move into this house and then everybody is gone. And then I should have thought. I should have thought when I saw them like taking their stuff out and leave. I should have thought. I was like, nah, because why would you do that? Why would you put us in this situation? And that situation happened and I never thought I would be homeless. But that's why I say life definitely made sure I had so many experiences that I think that's why it's like I done went through all kinds of emotions right here. Like I won't look at somebody less fortunate than me and just be like, you gonna take this money and go smoke drugs or you gonna do this. I'm gonna give it to you because when I was homeless, all I wanted was for the people that I was looking out for, people that I was giving my last to look out for me. But those people was like, you will bounce back. I'ma pray for you. That's why when people say that shit for me, it just be like, I'm hungry. Oh, God gonna bless you with some food. Shit, you got a whole 20-piece sitting right in front of you. What's one piece of chicken and you got a 20-piece sitting in front of you? Like for me, it's just like we don't use the sense that's common. That's why I say sense is not common, because if it was, it'd be like, once I give you this money, who cares what you do with it? Who cares? We'll do we'll tell a beggar on the street, we'll pray a whole prayer. If they go to smoke drugs or drink or they go to Bible, we'll do all that for the people on the streets. We'll pay our energy bills or electric bills. We'll go to the strip clubs. We'll go to the liquor stores. We'll go to churches and pay our tithe. We'll do all of that, but we don't think about what they gonna do with our money. We don't think about that. Me, I don't give a fuck. Once I give it to you, I hope you get something to eat. I'm speaking positivity. Like I come here and I say, I hope some of the shit, something that I say, something that I mention intrigues you to go check it out. Unless you know that you're not alone, I hope that I'm being a help to you. That's what I hope. Like, I never wish homelessness. I never wish COVID. I don't wish bad on any fucking body. People literally have done me. People have definitely did some fucked up shit to me, and at the same time, I don't want them to get COVID. I don't wish nothing, like nothing. I don't wish nothing but success, love, and good health. That's all I wish. Cause in reality, I don't want nobody to be out here wishing bad on me or none of that shit. So I think that's like I don't y'all know where I stand with religion. If you don't believe in Jesus, I'm not into all of that. But I do believe in I'ma treat you like I want you to treat me. That's just something on the inside. Like my grandmother talked about that. Like that was just something that I learned. Not even before I even went to church. That was what my grandmother was teaching me in her household. If you don't have anything good to say, don't say nothing. Or if you can't help, don't do. So for me, I'm definitely, people say it all the time, cut from a different cloth. I'm definitely cut from a different cloth. I be telling y'all to subscribe and follow, but if you don't subscribe and follow, guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna still come here. I'm still gonna talk about shit that needs to be talked about. I'm gonna come here and still say, hey, you always have a safe space here at Chelle's Closet, Midwsthumnbrd TV. You always got a safe space. You got a conversation you want to talk about, but you don't want to talk about it in the chat. My information is on the screen. Hit it. Send me a message. I'll talk about it. They don't. A lot of people don't know how to treat people right. A lot of people talk to people like I said, like people pull up in a drive through and now you want to cuss the drive through person out like it's their job. They're trying to do their job good, but if you come in with an attitude, then nobody tell your dumb ass to work at fast food anyways. Yeah, maybe that's the only job they can get right now. Maybe like uh, we don't take into consideration. We don't put the shoe. We don't think about if the shoe was on our foot. We don't think about shit like that. We just think like shit gonna never happen to me. Like I bet you a lot of people was like the shit ain't gonna never happen to me, and then the government was like we shutting everybody down. Nobody's going to work. Y'all remember that? It was a period of time nobody could go to work. Everybody was in there like, damn, I'm gonna pay my rent, I'm gonna pay my mortgage, I'm gonna pay this, I'm gonna pay that. Everybody, everybody, everybody. From rich to poor, everybody. You probably was like the rich people they got money, but they was in their mind was like, damn, do I have enough money to maintain? As I'm saying this right now, I'm gonna say this right. If you haven't, I'm not gonna say stockpile, but you haven't got you some like non-perishable food items. If you haven't got you some water, some toiletry, some disinfectant, you haven't got some money set aside, you probably want to do that because if you haven't been paying attention with the world and what's going on, we could more than likely go into another um, quarantine, temporary quarantine. Only what was they calling it? People can come out, or you had to be, whether you had to have a little letter, or you can go out. Essential, only essential workers. Imagine if they was like, you know what, your job is not essential. Now what are you gonna do? Like I was literally just talking to like, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to the store to get some more water, toiletries. I got a bunch of disinfectant spray because I was like, y'all remember? I was like, you remember when when the tissue, like I can go to Family Dollar right now and get 24 packs of tissue or 24 rolls of tissue for $10, right? But you remember when the pandemic and all that stuff was really going, like you people was trying to charge $15 to $20 for 12 and 6 rolls of tissue. People was trying to tax extra for water. We not even talking about the disinfectant spray and hand sanitizer. But remember, like, so me, I'm gonna just say, get you some toiletries, get you some water, get you some non-perishable food items, get you some stuff that you can snack on, some batteries, some candles. Just get you that stuff so you can be prepared just in case, because you don't want to just be thinking like, oh yeah, the government they not gonna do that again. Why would they do that again? Do y'all see like they trying to prevent like this whole week they've been trying to prevent a government shutdown? Next week or the next couple of days, I think they're gonna go in to try to prevent it. They're trying to like keep it from one wants to shut down, one doesn't. I'm gonna tell you to look out for you and your household. That's what I'm gonna tell you to do. That's what I'm gonna always tell you to do. That's like when all of this first started, I was telling people you have to do what's best for you and your household. Because I can tell you what to do. I could tell you to go, you know, I could tell you to go do that, but if it's not what's best for you and your household, don't do it. If you know in your household, this is how, we this is how my household is ran. How do you let somebody outside of your household tell you? I don't know. Sorry, I went on a little tangent right there. Mm, 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 mm. Um, Ray, I want to say that happens because a lot of people have unresolved things that they are not like. I know this might ruffle a couple of feathers, but hey, I am Chelle and I love ruffling feathers. I don't know. Um, but like with in the African American community, in the black community, why I say African American, in a black community or the people of color community, there's this thing where like you have kids and they're playing with different toys, but if a guy sees a young boy play with a hula hoop, and it's like, oh no, you're not gonna play with hula hoops because boys don't play with hula hoops. And then it's like, oh, I gotta rough him up because I don't want him to be no insert derogatory term for a homosexual male right here. You insert that word right there. I don't want him to be one of those. And then I just be thinking like, when did the fear of becoming a homosexual like when did it become a fear? And like why is it such a fear? Like even I would say like that should be part of like the mental that should be it should be a disorder, you know? Like is it it's homophobia. Sorry y'all, just COVID fog is what I'm calling it. Um but how did it become such a fear? Like you could be a womanizer, you could be all kinds of things, but if you're gay, it's like stay over there, don't touch me, don't look at me, don't touch my cup, don't touch my purse, pillow, don't hit my joint that I don't touch nothing because then it's going to come off on me. I when did that mm, that's like the whole gay agenda. I had to do it. Sorry. The whole gay agenda thing. Like, how do we have a gay agenda, but we don't have a heterosexual agenda? Like, people be like, it's normal to be like that. I don't think it's normal for a 2-year-old to be trying to figure out, hey, if I'm gay or straight. I think they too. I think they just play with toys and do what 2-year-olds do. I think like sometimes like I said this a couple of things back and I was like sometimes I think we be wanting people to be who we want them to be, and when they don't be that, we don't know how to respond. We don't people look at me and they probably be like I wouldn't expect you to be on YouTube or Twitch talking about your life because you look, and I just be like, I look what? Like when people would hear me talk, they wouldn't think that I was black. And I'm like, I'm sorry. Did you expect me to talk? How did you expect me to talk? I don't know. I don't be understanding how people be putting one and two together. And then like to think that is okay to to think that it's okay to like beat up somebody or abuse somebody because you don't want them to be gay, when in actuality people are born gay, and a lot of people hide the fact that they are gay. See, I just got emotional again cuz some people have to hide the fact that they are gay because of the household that they grew up in was so homophobic and so God fearing, God loving, all of those things, but so homophobic. So they had to deny who they was and pretend, put on a mask, COVID, whatever, put on a mask just to make their family be okay when they struggled on the inside. And to this day, this very day, people are still struggling. Some people are comfortable, but some people are struggling with being themselves because their parents aren't going to love who they are. Me, like I don't give a fuck. Like if you find out that I'm gay and you don't want to work with me, you didn't want to work with me anyways. Don't just say it's because she's gay. No. And then they're not even gonna have the courage to stand up and be like, I don't want to work with her because she's gay. You're not gonna say that. You gonna like if you feel like if case you didn't know, let me maybe you didn't know. Hi, my name is Chelle and I am a proud member of the LGBT alphabet mafia. Proud. When I say proud, I mean proud. You see how I smile with that? Like I'm emotionally happy because that's um I've never hidden, I never but I do understand the trauma of people that have to hide. They have to hide because their mother always talk about insert word here for derogatory or calling them dykes. Now see, I don't even understand why I can say a dyke, but when I think about that other word, I just think and that's what I'm talking about, right? Like people can't love who they want to love or be. Like it's so many people that are married to the opposite sex, but know that they don't want to be with them, and then they have kids, and then they just suppressing all these feelings. And then it's like, you know what? I don't want to suppress it anymore. So let me like, can you imagine how Kendall and Kylie felt? This is our father. And then your father wakes up and he's like, "You know what? I'm not going to live behind or in the closet. I'm not going to live like that anymore. I want to be happy. Like y'all are grown. Like why do parents why do parents feel like they have to wait till we are grown before they can like can you imagine how traumatic that has to be? Or like people that grew up in like the 60s and 70s were being out and it wasn't that you just didn't do that. Like you knew, like people knew that you were, but you didn't really. You wasn't flaunting it like we are now. I'm not, but you seen us. We out here. Some of us out here super loud, proud. But can you imagine like wanting to spend your every day with somebody that you love, but you couldn't because you didn't want to make your family look bad. A lot of people don't be gay because their family will look bad or how I remember the brat. I watched a video of the brat. I don't know if she was on Vlad or she was somebody was interviewing her and she was like, "Why didn't you come out?" Nah, the brat we already knew. We anybody that knows, we already knew you was, honey. We knew for a long time. But she was like she didn't want her grandmother to have to answer all of those questions. And I just thought like, man, man, hi Samantha. I didn't. I just be thinking. I when I tell you, I'd be thinking, and I'd be having these whole little moments where I just be getting sad. Like, man, I couldn't imagine like the whole coming out of the closet experience. I never had that because I just was. I was the only girl and the oldest, and people really wasn't like. I mean, they was on me about stuff, but they really wasn't on me about stuff. They was so happy that I was. I don't know. They was happy. My mother had a child, and it was just like, "Ooh, here we go." And then now that I'm talking about it right now, it's just like maybe I do have a little problem with being spoiled, and not maybe I do have a problem. I am, I am spoiled, and I am stubborn. I just realized this right here, right now. That is so crazy. Um, whew, that's. Hmm. You people say things to you. You're like, nah. I told you at the beginning. I was saying, nah. I'm not stubborn. I just like things the way that I like them. I'm having a whole moment right now just thinking like I was pretty spoiled. I really was. Like nobody told me no. I say I wanted something and people gave it to me. I think whew, wow. And so then when I was like, I wish somebody would have told me no, don't move to Arizona. Like don't go and spend money on purses and you don't even wear purses. Why do you have 25, 30 pairs of shoes in your closet and you don't even wear them? You only wear one same pair. Like I can honestly say at 41 right now, I did a lot of shit just to hear somebody say no. And do you know like there's like 5 people in my life like throughout that I could count that told me no. And it was the greatest feeling in the world. I don't yeah, it was the greatest feeling in the world. Like, damn, that's what no feels like. And it was even a problem for me. Like it became a problem for me where I couldn't tell people no. Like not that I couldn't, just felt bad when I would say no. And I was like, "Oh, maybe this is what people feel like when they don't have to say no." Like, y'all, I'm really processing this right now in this exact moment. Whew. I'm gonna tell y'all, like, I'm emotional, but at the same time, when I just said that, I felt like a weight. Mm, I felt like a weight has literally been lifted off of me. Like I'm telling y'all, this process, this journey of healing and self discovery was one of the best things that I've decided to do. I've made a lot of good decisions, but this one was one of the best things that I decided to do in such a long time. I cannot believe that I am over here spoiled. I cannot. You know how many people in my life have said, "You spoiled," and I'm like, "No, I'm not spoiled. I just like what I like." And then when you acknowledge that all of the situations in your life come up and you see how spoiled you was. Oh God. I'm sorry, y'all. I was not here to cry or I'm here to talk about mental health. Shh. I'm talking about mental fucking health right now. Like I'm literally just like, how did y'all let me get spoiled? It wasn't even them. That was a joke, y'all. God. And I really am stubborn. Whew. See, that's what I'm talking about. When you hear yourself like say these things let me see if I can say this without hold on. When I said I do not I do not love myself. When you have those real conversations with yourself, I'm telling you, like when you have real conversations with yourself, like I know people be like, if you're talking to yourself, you got a mental problem. The reality of it is, I think everybody have a touch of mental illness. That's just me. I think everybody does. But when you have that real conversation with yourself, like if you right now, if you in a relationship and you looking at the person you with and you don't have that I don't even know what that is, but if you don't have that, if you look at them and you not like just ooh, that guaranteed you don't ask yourself multiple times, like, why the fuck am I with you? Mm, I mean, you got some bomb, but why the fuck am I with you? I could find that anywhere. Like, why the fuck do I keep going to this job all the time, knowing I don't like this fucking job? And then you think like it's just money. I be making good money though, and then I get paid time off and all this shit. And then you be like, why don't you start your own business? I don't got time. I really thought like I honestly, I'm gonna say I feel like being stubborn saved my life a couple of times. It definitely did. It definitely saved my life. On more than one occasion. I'm telling you, like my whole life, it just did one of these. Phew, right when I said it. Right, right when I said it. Ooh, ooh, I'm telling y'all. So I've been having a lot of these moments. A lot of these moments where I be okay and then I don't be okay, and that's why I said at the beginning of this journey, it's okay not to be okay. Like people be trying to tell you, like you don't need to cry, you don't need to do this. Fuck that, cry, scream if you fucking need to scream. Let that shit go because let me tell you, right? You'll keep tossing shit in the back of your mind. Oh, I got cheated on. Back in my mind. Oh, he had a baby on me. Back in my mind. Oh, my mother never loved. Back in. You'll throw all that shit. They fired me and then hire somebody less qualified, or they hire somebody less qualified than me. And you throw that shit in the back of your mind, and then you know, like you seen a closet that's overstuffed, that's got too much shit in it, and the door is like popping off. You know, when the door fucking actually pop off, now it is moved from your body, your mind to your body. So now your body is going to start responding to different things. The last thing you want is for your body, for the trauma to go from your mind to your body. And I'm telling you this as someone who suffered so much fucking trauma in the back of her mind. And I know you probably be like, that happened to you, it ain't gonna happen to me. You can go back in history and see how many times people said that shit and then it happened to them and they was like, but you stuffed so much shit. I stuffed so much shit. So much. And I know you probably like, damn, but you was only 18. I stuffed a lot of shit. When I tell y'all, whew, I stuffed a lot of shit. And I kept saying, I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna get to it. I'm gonna deal with it. You know, I'm gonna get there. And it got to me first. So I'm gonna tell you, if you feel like you are not okay, get some help. If you feel like you just been feeling weird, talk to somebody. If you are thinking about no longer being here, you are loved. I want to encourage you to give yourself another 24 hours. That's what I want to encourage you to give yourself another 24 hours. Don't look at life as years, months, weeks, days. Just look at it as seconds. For this second right here, just enjoy this second where you just in this second. Hi, Original Ray. I'm sorry, y'all. And I'm saying I'm sorry because I'm apologizing, but I learned, I've come to learn that whatever is going to happen to you, it's going to happen. You could try to prolong it. You could try to do everything in your human mind, but the church tells us, or religion tells us that before this world was formed, God already knew who we were going to be and what we were going to do in our lives. So basically, we all just down here living our lives, which was already programmed according to religion. Yeah, I'm sorry, y'all. That was just, I am spoiled and I am stubborn. Whew. Y'all got to see I processed that on camera. I mean, I'm still gonna process it after this go off, but whew, there's nothing like when you be like, I do not love myself. I know you probably watching me like, shit, I don't know what she's talking about. I love myself. If you put another person's needs in front of yours, do you really love yourself? I know you probably like a parent. Like I be thinking like, parents say that they really love their kids, but if you really love your child, wouldn't you want to be okay for your child? Like if you have some ill will or whatever with your parents, wouldn't you want to resolve that before you have a child? Or you have a child, wouldn't you want to make sure like, that is how do you want it better? We are surviving a global fucking pandemic. Wouldn't you want to like know like when you want people to know that they are loved, like I was in there. I was like, damn, did I say everything I needed to say to everybody? I mean, I know everybody know that I love them. I was just going through the whole thing like, and then it- one person came up and I said what I need to say, and it was just like, okay, now, are you ready to take me? I mean, that's where I was at with it. Like I accomplished what I said I did the YouTube. I made sure artists understood. Like I left. I'm leaving. I would have, and it was like, what the fuck you thinking? Your time up ain't here. Your time here ain't up yet. You got a lot of shit to do. We need you to start here. And I was just like, see, this is real sobering right now. All of my life, all of my life, I've known that I'm going to be a teacher. I'm gonna say this right. All of my life, I've known that I'm going to be a teacher. All of my life, I fucking ran away from being a teacher. I did everything I could so I wouldn't have to be a teacher. Like I could share shit, but I wouldn't share shit because then guess what that would make me? Yep, a fucking teacher. And I was like, no, 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 I'm not gonna be no teacher. No. And then I do my ancestry. I didn't do the DNA portion, but I do have a family tree which went back 6, 7 generations. And then I'm just looking at my fucking family tree, and what do I see in my fucking family tree? I'm using fucking a lot right now. I see college professors, I see doctorates, I see all kinds of fucking teachers, Sunday school teachers, daycare teachers. I'm seeing all kind of fucking teachers, and I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Then I catch the big C, and I'm in there laying down, and it's like, you ready to be a teacher yet? I don't want to fucking be a teacher. I'm crying now. I'm crying because I don't want to be a teacher because I have these preconceived notions in my mind, like a motherfucker gonna run up on me and think they gonna talk slick to me. I didn't want to be no teacher. I didn't want to be a teacher. And then I was just like, you know what? I fucking surrender. I give up. I mean, every fucking thing around me. I'm teaching my brothers. I'm teaching my nieces and nephews. It's just like I can't fucking get away from it. You know what? I guess I'm gonna be a fucking teacher. And then it was like, thank you. And then it was like, ding, a light went off in my head. And I was trying to figure, like, I have a whole fucking business. And I was trying to figure out how to put the shit together. In a moment, it was like, the moment I fucking said, okay, I'm going to be a fucking teacher, it was like, I don't know if y'all ever seen like I'm trying to figure out how to fucking say it. Like I'm looking up at my fucking ceiling and it was like every fucking thing just got put together, like the website, the landing page, the courses I should be offering. And I'm sitting here looking like, is this shit for real? Like all I had to do was fucking say I'm ready to be a fucking teacher. And then I said, the one thing, the one thing my entire life I was like I didn't want to do was the exact thing that I should have been doing. And I didn't do it because I was afraid. I was afraid that I would be successful, not that people would see me be. I wasn't in never. I come to realize that none of my things have to do with out external people. It's all on the inside. Like I didn't want to be successful, and I realized that when when I got up out the bed and I sat in a chair and I was just like, I was talking to someone and they were like, you don't have that same confidence that you had in the beginning when I first saw this business. And I was like, listen, I'm fucking dealing with COVID. I don't give a fuck about this business. I don't give a fuck about anything. I'm just trying to stay alive. I'm just trying to be good. I don't, I, If you take me, okay, cool. But if you don't take me, I don't want to have any lasting. I mean, do you go look back at my life? Do you see what the fuck I've overcame over here? I mean, when is the good shit gonna start happening to me? Like when? And then the whole thing happened on the ceiling, and I was just like, holy shit, I gotta what I saw, I gotta put it tangible. And then I came in here and I sat right here at this computer. And I kid you not, every fucking thing I saw on the ceiling, I literally just did my wireframe. I sent it to my mentor. I did it, not even a wireframe. Like I made the shit look like I saw on there, and then it was like, I don't think I have the capabilities to do this. And what do y'all think I did? I asked for fucking help. This is what I see. Can you help me bring this to life? And guess what the fuck happened? So when I tell y'all Vlogtober gonna be lit, like Vlogtober is definitely going to fucking be lit. Cause whew. So I'm gonna say this to you, right? With the exception of drugs and alcohol, I'm not gonna condone, encourage, or any of that. That very thing you fear could bring you the greatest joy. If you fear quitting your job, but you know you want to start your own business, use the skills and the things that you are learning from your job, put some money aside and start that fucking business. My brother said today, he said, you said for so long that you was going to work for yourself and you was going to do this. And he said, I'm going to be honest, I didn't believe that you was going to do that. But he said, looking at you right now and watching you do it and like seeing from how, you was struggling, you was going through all types of shit to like now it's just like people, I'm definitely going to do a story time for this. Like, to be busting my ass for so long and then like you working hard, you doing hard, you working hard, you busting your ass, and then you see people just walk in and they just shoot to the moon and shoot to the stars, and then like me, it was like I always had this thing like, oh, you'll be back because so it's something about people that just when they go up, they just be up. Like me, I told y'all everything I fucking went through in my life was like, oh no, we gonna make sure you stay grounded. So I never lost, like I never was like, oh, it's not gonna happen. But to be in a point like I know you probably like, well, you ain't rich, you ain't balling, you only got 1,800 subscribers on YouTube and probably like 400 on Twitch, and you don't got this and you don't got that. I never in my life strived for that. I never strive for that. I just want the people around me to know that they can achieve whatever they fucking put their mind to. And I just wanted to be happy. I'm sitting right here right now and telling y'all I'm a little like it's a little bittersweet because I just realized that I am actually spoiled. I have to keep if y'all didn't figure it out, I keep saying it because it's like, damn, I'm really spoiled and I'm really stubborn. But I figured out about me, and I figured like all of that fucking hard work I fucking went through, and people wasn't calling me, and people had a struggle with artists. It was so much, so much. And now I'm in a space when I tell people like so many people was calling me with job offers, but I had fucking COVID. I couldn't even get out the fucking bed. But people was calling me, people was referring people to me, like some of the same people who was like, your idea fucking sucks. Or, they didn't say, well, some of the people actually said it in those words. And some people was just like, oh no, like we don't see the value in it. And now it's just like, oh, we really need you. Like, send us your rate card or send us this. And I'm just looking like, and it didn't take a long fucking time. I'm trying to tell y'all, like, it didn't. And that's why I'm saying I'm so fucking grateful to have made the decision to go on a journey of healing and self discovery. Now, let me be the first to tell you this shit is not easy. It's not. It takes a lot of courage, and you have to be honest with yourself. Honest. I was honest when I said I felt abandoned and rejected by my parents. That's what I felt. That's what I felt. It wasn't. That's what I felt. That's what I felt. I didn't feel like a good student when I was in college. I didn't feel like that. I felt like, oh, we getting this amount of money for these black kids being here, so let's make sure we attempt to make sure, like, ah, I felt those things. So to be sitting right here, right now, today, and have accomplished every fucking thing I ever set out to do in my entire life, despite every fucking thing that life, God, Buddha, Allah threw at me. You talking about when life gives you lemons. M- Most people can only in their brain say lemonade. When life gives you lemon, make lemonade. Fuck that. I'm making lemonade, lemon drops, lemon antiseptic. I'm making lemon soda. I'm making lemon spray, lemon gumdrops. Hell, I'm making lemon pies, cakes. I'm making every fucking thing. I did not know that I was going to talk about mental health and be emotional. I didn't know that. I didn't know that I was going to have to acknowledge the fact that I am spoiled. You're probably thinking, like, that's not a big thing. There's a lot of people spoiled on when you think about it, though. When you think about, mhm. When you think about it, it's like when I was able to say to get to the root of it. Like when I got to the root of I was drinking to numb the pain that I was feeling. That and the fact that I had a situation I'm gonna tell you about in the story time. I'm not gonna tell you right now. I want y'all to check out my story time. That and that situation, I don't drink. I don't. Everybody be like, "Oh, I drink because it's a fun party. I do this because it's fun party." We give ourselves so many fucking excuses all the time. All the time. I said the other day when I was talking, I was like, people go out here and buy Jordans, cars, furniture. They buy all kinds of shit so people can be like, "Oh, girl, bro, that's fly." All that shit, right? But then when they come in their house, they lock that door and turn that light on. They is sad. Some people don't even turn the fucking light on. Some people is depressed and sad. And then they hop on social media and it's just like the lives that people live in their fucking houses. They're not happy. These people are not happy, but they look happy. I'm a celebrity and I look happy. Right? I'm not saying like people not drinking to just take the edge off or I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that there's a lot of people that are dealing drugs and alcohol to cover up pain. There's a lot of people that's out here fucking a lot of people to cover up pain. Yes, sex can be used as a cover up. And those of us in the LGBT community, how that can, and we know how that happens a lot. But if we could just be honest with ourselves. We quick to be honest with somebody else, but if we could just be honest with ourselves and just be like, you know what? A lot of the shit I'm doing right now, I'm just doing it out of habit. I get up every morning, I make my bed, I brush my teeth, I take a shower. Wait, some people don't do that. Well, whatever your habit is, your morning routine or whatever. And then you just do that. Like people used to make fun of the people that stand out on the corners. Like we in the digital age now. Are you still standing on the corner? I'm not telling you to do anything illegal. I'm just saying. And then you think about it, you grow up and you like, some people have never really left the block. Like literally. Some people, I live in Milwaukee, like some people has never even been to like Racine, Kenosha, Chicago. Like some people never left Milwaukee. Some people have never been on a train, a bus, a plane, a boat. Somebody never took a road trip. Somebody probably don't even have their license. Like things that we take for granted, other people would love to have those things. Love to. I'm still over here trying to process the fact that I'm spoiled. Do you know how many times I heard that in my life and I was just like, No, I'm not. Why would you say that? Why would you say that? People always trying to put stuff on you. And on this day, on this day, it was at this moment that I realized I am spoiled. I am saying I am admitting this. I am acknowledging, accepting, and I am going to adjust from being spoiled. But how do you do that? I don't know. I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. You know, right? Like that's I said this the other night, but I'm gonna say it again because some of y'all probably wasn't here. Why is it when like you be with someone for a long time and then you break up and then people the first thing, not it was amazing for me because a lot of people around me wasn't like that because they already know like my heart is tied. Like it's whew. But there were a lot of people that wasn't in here, like in my circle, square, rectangle, whatever you want to call it. That was like, girl, you just need to start dating again, girl. You need to find somebody that you can meet and just do that. And I was just like, ew, no, y'all. I mean, COVID is scary, but shit, AIDS is STDs, all of that shit is scary to me. I'm not just, and then I just can't, because I'm too cool of a person. I'm gonna say that you ain't gonna just want to have casual sex with me. You just not. You nah, and then you gonna be weird, and then I'm gonna be like, why you being weird to me? TikTok, I'm telling you, I love TikTok. Mm. It gives me life a lot of times, but no, I just don't understand the whole casual thing. Because then it's like there's no responsibility, there's no accountability, there's not I need that. Is- n- No, I need that for me. I need that for me. That's what I need. Like on my journey of healing and self-discovery, I realized how important stability is for me. Stability is so important for me, and that's why I don't care how much money I have. I don't care, who all around me doing what. I'm going to tell you 3 bills I'm going to always pay: rent, lights, Wi Fi. I just added Wi Fi because, I be needing Wi Fi sometimes. But rent, lights, and Wi Fi. You think I'm going to be out in fucking Miami and these three ain't paid? No, fuck no. Because I need a place to stay. And I want to say, mm, I definitely feel like it's because I was homeless. That's part of it because I once was homeless. And then I just realized how important those three things are. And you probably like, you don't need Wi-Fi, but the business that I am in, and it's a global fucking pandemic. I don't have to go outside. I can sit right here, make the videos, do everything I fucking need to do. I'm telling y'all, mm, whew, those three things. And I was just sitting here like, I went through a really tough time in my life, and not one day did I ever worry about what I was gonna eat. Not one day. Not when I tell you, not one day did I worry about what I was gonna eat. Not one day. I didn't worry about paying my if my rent was gonna be paid. I didn't worry about none of that. My rent was paid. All of my bills have been taken care of. Now, one time did I worry about what I was gonna eat, and then you really think about it, like you be like we be worried about things, but if you ever like saw a squirrel, right, or a bird, or a rabbit, or any animal, it's like where do they live? Where do they live? What do they eat? You know, like they not worried about shit. I mean, now they worried about if us humans are going to eat them because we be eating everything. We be killing and eating everything. Whew. I know whoever is up there is like, I did not make that animal for you to eat, but you know us, we be eating everything. Alligators, rattlesnake, we be eating everything. Not me though. Mm, raccoons, possums. No, it's a no for me. I'm gonna stick to. I don't even eat those things, but I'm gonna stick to. I mean, I do eat goat and lamb, so I'm gonna stick to those things. But when I was like, I'm gonna go live and talk about continue the conversation of mental health, I literally wasn't thinking that could y'all like I wasn't thinking that it was gonna be me, like I was gonna be the one here. Like I wasn't thinking. I was like, yeah, we just gonna talk about mental health and the fact that October is National Depression and Mental Health Screening Month. So of course there's gonna be more mental health things because clearly that's where we need to be talking about because there is about to be a major rise in seasonal depression. And I'm not a medical professional, but I mean, I know we all know somebody who, when it comes around these times, it start getting cold. And I just want you to know that you are not alone. You are not here by yourself. Um, Life may seem hard right now, but it definitely does get better. I said the other night, I was like, you ever see that meme where it had the two people was digging for diamonds and the one, I don't know if it's the one at the bottom or the one at the top, whatever one has the one big diamond and then the other one has a whole row of little diamonds that probably equals more than a big diamond, but he got so jealous, envious, whatever you want to say, that he left his. He was right there. He was right there. Like if you just would have shot it like that, you probably would have a diamond would have rolled out. But he went and took his thing and started trying to dig where the other man was digging. And I was just thinking, like, how many times in life do people do that? They see you, they watching you. Oh, he look happy, she look happy. Let me go get that. Yeah, I want that. Look at that celebrity. All he doing is just I could do that. I got money. And now you're trying to live that life that you see on TV or social media, not knowing that there was a whole bunch of other steps before they got to that one point. I just want to encourage us as we are currently surviving. I have officially, I I be trying to say it without getting emotional, but it's fucking life changing. I'm gonna tell you, you don't want it. It's definitely fucking life changing. Definitely changing my fucking life. Definitely changed it. Definitely. I just want you to be okay. I want you to know that you are not in this alone. Chelle's Closet, Midwsthumnbrd TV is a safe space. It's a safe space for you. And you know what? Bernini, I'm gonna tell you what I realized, right? I started watching all these different comparisons because I'm starting in the morning, I'm starting juicing again. I went September, the entire September. I think I had like two juices in September. I was still doing ginger shots because But I had like 2 juices in September, so I fell off. I fell off, but I'm picking it back up in the morning. But I started seeing the memes where it was like a Happy Meal or like a fast food meal costs less than actually having fruits and vegetables. And I was like, shit, I'm about to grow me a little garden. That's why I'm I'm about to start growing some shit because yeah, we got to do something. We got to do something. Friendly reminder: go ahead and get you some toiletries, get you some water, non-perishable food items, set some money aside because you know you want to be prepared. Maybe they don't shut the government down, but you still, you will have extra excess. If you got a little deep freezer, throw some more meats and stuff up in there. You going shopping, just get a little extra. Throw it in a deep freezer so you'll have it. We just, when you know better. They say when you know better, you do better. Some people be knowing better and still don't fucking do better. Listen, that's pretty much all I got. I done cried. I'm sitting over here like really trying to keep it together because I'm gonna let y'all know I'm gonna do the ugliest cry after this. Like, I don't know if it be happening for y'all, but when that reality hits you, whoo, and then you get that ugly cry. But listen, I'm gonna tell you, like people probably tell you not to cry. I'm gonna tell you to cry because it is the greatest release ever. And it's like as the tears fall, it's like all of the pain, the hurt, the memories. I mean, you still have them, but like all of that shit falls with the tears. And people that's telling you not to cry, like like people be putting their fears on us and telling you not to cry. Well, it happened to me and I did this. Like I know shit happened to me in my life and it probably don't your result probably don't be the same result. But guess what? We all experience shit in life. We all do. And right now, in this present dispensation, we all experiencing this shit in real life. Like this what I'm able to do right now I wasn't able to do like 10, 20 years ago. I mean, we still had Nokias and stuff like that, but now I could pick my phone up and be everywhere. All I can be in a whole nother country. Somebody from another country could be watching me right now. Where before it was just I'm in other countries, I'm global, I'm international. I'm telling you, it's that ugly cry. Like people don't want to do it because they feel like, like like when this situation happened, right? I felt like I failed. Like y'all don't even know. Like that cry that I cried, it was life changing. Like just crying right now when I'm saying that I was spoiled and stubborn, like that. It's like weights. Like you don't realize the weights that you are carrying around from the traumas and the shit from your childhood, adulthood, shit from yesterday. Like you carrying around a lot of shit, and a lot of shit that we carrying around ain't got shit to do with us. We just carrying because it happened. Like we see our mama struggle, so we carrying her shit with our shit. Like it's a lot of shit. Y'all probably see my nose pillow. I've been blowing my nose for so. Anyways, we're carrying around shit that we shouldn't even be carrying around. We gotta let it go. We have to let it go. When you start looking at these diseases and all of these things, hi Ebony, thank you. We look at diseases and all these different things. It's the root. There is a root to everything. There's a root. Whether you want to believe it or not, there is a root. There's a root to why you treat people shitty. There's a root to why you treat people with love and you super care. There is a root to everything. It could be a good root, it could be a bad root. It's a root. And if that shit is not being it's not helping you be your best self, get to the root. Pull that shit up. Go in the back up in there, go in there. If you have to pull one thing out at a time, clean that fucking back room out. Clean that out. And if you don't see now, right now, less than 24 hours away from 3 months left. 3 months left. 3. October, November, December. 2021 is damn near up. I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna go October. The next time we gonna be here, it ain't gonna go that fast, but it's gonna seem like it's gonna go that fast. It's gonna be like we celebrating Thanksgiving, and then it's gonna be like Christmas, and it's gonna be New Year's. And what are we doing now? We making New Year's resolutions. I want, as we end this. Listen, I'm not a preacher or anything like this, but this is what I want. I want, as you continue, as you go to sleep at night tonight, or as you prepare to plan, if you are participating in Vlogtober, let me know, because I'm gonna come. I'm supporting everybody. Vlogtober is definitely gonna crack. If you are on Twitch and you wonder what Vlogtober is, it's just vlogging every day. Um, I'm actually taking it a step further. I'm vlogging every day and I'm going to live stream every day because I'm creating for the next 31 days. I'm creating visual content with photos and videos, and then I'm live streaming. I'm creating content. By the end of this month, going into November, it is my goal to have completed my nursery rhyme album. So I'm putting it out there. Uh, I put it out there. I already started it. I got the songs, have the arrangements. I just have to create the tracks, and then I'm gonna come here and I'm gonna record them live. And yeah, we when I tell y'all the passion. When you have something that you want to do in life and you be like, oh, I can't do it now because I got kids, or oh, I can't do it because I'm too old, or oh, I can't do it. Those are all excuses you give yourself, because you could still do whatever the fuck you want to do. You could still play basketball. You could still own your own business. You could still get married. You could still have kids. All that shit. You could do whatever the fuck you put your mind to. I am so sorry to hear that, Ebony. But you have a safe space. You have friends. You know what? We're family over here. This is my YouTube family. That they have definitely helped me through this last year, which was tough. I the other night I did something. Did y'all see? Did y'all just notice what just happened? I did something, and when I started the process, I was angry. I was angry and I was sad. But as I was going through the process and I got to the end of it, and I was happy. I was like happy for the journey. I was happy for everything. And like now I'm just like, oh, it's about to be super lit. You know, like when you be holding on and you be holding on, holding out hope, and you be wanting things, and then it's just like, I really don't fucking need this. So let me just let it go. You know? Just fucking let it go. That's just like, yeah, I don't want to be a teacher. But then when I said teacher, then all the shit was like, don't worry, y'all, because when I go live, when my website and when all this shit go live, I'm definitely gonna cut. It ain't even. It's not even built yet, but just the fact that I have like something that I can be like, this is what it's gonna actually fucking look like, and I know the capabilities and how. Oh, huh. When you get excited about the fucking idea, we gonna turn up. We gonna most definitely turn. We gonna definitely turn up because, whoo, we gonna turn up. I'm excited. I'm excited to share with y'all because some of y'all have been here since the beginning of this channel. Some of y'all have been through the transition of this channel. Some of y'all just came in but still be rocking harder than. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I appreciate all of the love y'all showed me when I was down with COVID. I appreciate y'all sharing my videos. I appreciate y'all coming back and watching. I appreciate every fucking thing. Like, I appreciate y'all. Y'all definitely being able to come here, and it's so weird. Like it's weird, right? Being weird. It's so weird to come here and like have an idea and it was like, I'm gonna do it. Like you would never know. Like if you didn't know me, you wouldn't know like I didn't like talking on camera or being I would have never did this ever. Yeah, I had a YouTube channel back in the days and then, got this. But I realized that I like to hide in the shadows because then I didn't have to I didn't have to speak. I didn't have to show my intelligence. I didn't have to do any of that. But now, fuck that. I'm here. I'm talking. We here. Wait till y'all see. I feel my streams is about to get upgraded. I am like this close to five. I don't know if I can see that. Like 500 hours of streaming. And I've only been streaming for a year. And you're probably like, what? That's only. Whew. I started with a 40-hour stream on my 40th birthday last year. And the fact now that I'm still streaming a year and some change later. And I'm more comfortable on the mic. That's funny. I'm fucking working on a nursery rhymes album. I'm fucking producing again. I'm fucking scoring shit. I got a fucking podcast, like shit that I was just like, it was ideas. So when you see me all excited talking about my fucking website, all the shit that I'm doing, all of that shit came from an idea. And I not only believed, I bust my ass for all of this shit. And here it is right now. People calling me with shit and I'm like turning shit down. Like I remember artists wouldn't even talk to me because I didn't represent Rihanna or shit like that. But then, I'm just here. I ain't trying to rip people off. I ain't trying to manipulate people. I ain't trying to do none of that. I'm just trying to get you to see yourself and be like, you deserve better. You know you deserve better. You know you wake up every morning like, damn, I'm half assing it. I'm living below my means. I know I could be so much better. I could be so much further. I saw myself living in Texas in a big ass house with my business. I have a trucking business. I'm doing you every day. We have fucking dreams, but we allow life to change our dreams. And life is just a bunch of lessons that we need to learn. Like I looked back. When I look back, I'm 41 fucking years old, and I can look back and just be like, damn, I overcame a whole fucking lot. When y'all start watching my story times, you're gonna be like, damn, no, yeah, I overcame a whole fucking lot. So if I tell you that you can fucking do it, you should know that you can fucking do it. Who is you? I'm just a lowly servant. I had to do that for my brother. I'm a lowly servant just trying to tell you, like, everybody has a story. Some people will never be comfortable with their stories, and some people would just be like, hell yeah, look at the celebrities. Like, LeBron James wasn't LeBron. Well, he was LeBron James when he came out because that's what his mama named him. But it took hard work, determination, sacrifice, all those fucking words you probably heard all your life. It took all of that. And then, since we're talking about LeBron James, y'all not talking about him, I'm talking about. But look at what LeBron James did for his former teammates. Like they probably was sitting around like, yeah, we know we ain't gonna make it to the NBA because it's like 100 spots in the NBA. I think it's 100, 200, whatever the number is. Like so many people try to get in the NBA and then they just don't. And then he was like, you know what? Why don't you be a marketing coach or why don't you be this or why don't you be that? And He invested in his friends. Not I'm not gonna say money, but I'm saying he time, belief, all of that, and his friends. And look at them, all of them. Look at them. And I be telling the people around me like, if we assisted each other more, we all can grow up together. I know people be like, you need to get in the door first and then you could turn around. But think about how many people get in that door first and never turn around. Or lock the fucking doors. Lock the fucking doors and the windows, and then they don't they could share. They could share and tell you how to get to where they at, but just like, no, fuck you. I know I stood on your shoulders to get here, but fuck you. I was just looking like, damn, that's some real player shit. And then even I'm not even at LeBron James level, but I'm thinking like if I could just share with you, like, hey, you've been molested, that shit ain't gonna never go nowhere, but you definitely need to go to therapy to learn like how to properly process that, how to properly, and I'm saying properly because drugs, alcohol, sex, all that shit, that's not properly doing it because you only suppressing those things. Like, I'm gonna say this because most people don't say this. If you are a male and you have been touched, whether it was by a male or a female, and you are currently in your life fucking everything you can fuck, yeah, you're handsome. Yeah, you probably got bomb D or whatever. But the reality of it is you are running away from something. And the very thing that you are running away from will one day catch up to you. Either you're going to like deal with it or it will deal with you. And I just felt compelled to say that because, sometimes we forget the guys be bit molested and shit too. We forget that. And then it's like I'm a guy who I'ma tell. Like if it was a woman, now they're gonna be telling any and everybody because that's like a badge of honor. But if it was a man, who they gonna tell? Or they gonna be like, hey, bro, you seen the basketball game, but yeah, my uncle touched me last night. What? I'm not making light of it, but I'm saying like who are they gonna tell? How are they gonna say like another man touched me? Because that's like it's like taboo, but like parents, grandparents, family members, brothers, cousins, sisters, everybody be knowing that people be touching like pedophiles. Everybody knows who the pedophile is, especially in families. Everybody be knowing who the pedophile is. And that's fucked up to say, but everybody be knowing. And then for people to be like, no, they didn't. Everybody knows. And for me, how pedophiles could just be walking up at the barbecue and family reunions and shit like that. And I was gonna say something else, but and they be walking up. That's what I'm saying. Be walking up. Yeah, it's a no for me. That shit's weird. No, it's a no for me. That's why I stay in my house because too much weird should be happening. But yeah, I just want us to be good. And if you are a male and you have been molested or touched, you have a safe space. If you have been molested, period, you have a safe space. Maybe you wasn't molested. Maybe your mama beat you or your parents was on drugs or your parents was just really religious. You have a safe space here. This is a safe space. Safe space. This is what it is. I am tripping out at the fact that I am spoiled and stubborn. Whew. This ugly cry is about to be good and I'm gonna sleep good. Like, why is it when you cry, you sleep good? Like, what is that? Like, what is that about? I'm telling y'all, like, I know I'm gonna cry. Like, I could feel the congestion, like, you feel like when you're trying to hold it in. Whew, it's gonna be good too. It's release, it's letting it go. And I tell y'all how much shit I let go in this last year. Shit, COVID definitely helped me get over some shit real fast. Ooh. It's nothing like your life being on the line and you have to change all that shit around. Oh, it'll get you together real fast. I don't wish it on anybody though. Nope. That's all I got. I'm getting ready to go cry. Let me go cry right now. No, remember that it is important for you to use your words. That is the only way that anyone will ever know what you are feeling and what you are thinking. I will never let a video or a live go out without me saying to you to love yourself, know yourself, trust yourself, and just fucking be yourself. In case you need a friendly reminder, we are currently surviving. I have officially survived, or I am officially surviving a global fucking pandemic with just a little irritating cough. And my diaphragm, my ribs, whatever it is, hurts because I've been coughing. It's just a lot. But you should be living your best life right now. If no one has told you in the first 9 months, tomorrow when I say this, it'll be 10 months. We'll be 3 months away from 2022. If no one has told you in the first 9 months of 2021, I will be the first to tell you I love you. I believe in you. You have everything you need to be successful right up in here. You just got to activate it. You know what time it is. If you don't know what time it is, wait. If you could be so kind, if you are on YouTube, let me see if I do it right. Up, there we go. YouTube, hit that red subscribe button. It's not red on the screen, but it's red on YouTube. And if you are on Twitch, if you could go ahead and hit that purple follow button down there. Also, if you're on YouTube, go up to the community tab, pick a song. On Saturday nights, I do live karaoke's right here. Live karaoke's. Live karaoke right here. Come back and join me. Sunday, we're gonna have another dinner and conversation. Y'all know it'd be good. You know the conversation be good. Um, tomorrow, wait, don't not to Saturday, Sunday, but tomorrow is October the 1st, and it's the first day of me creating. And I told y'all see these drums right here? I'm plugging those up. Y'all see these bass, this bass and this guitar, we plugging those up. Now I'm gonna tell you, I'm just gonna be doing the beginner. I'm gonna be, figuring out the beginner. I gotta build my dexterity. I'm gonna do an ASMR and cut my fingernails. I'm so excited about October. So excited to leave the 9 months and go into the last quarter of this year. I want you, as you prepare to go to sleep or work or wherever you are, I want you to think about living your best life and obtaining everything that you deserve: health, wealth, love, knowledge, all of those things, obtaining that, changing your situation. That's what I want to inspire you to do that. Now here we go. You know what time it is. If you don't know what time it is, I suggest you watch the Finger Sweetie because they will tell you. Um, until probably a little later because I just realized that it's Thursday and I didn't do a workout. So I'll come back in a couple of hours and do a little workout after I do this ugly cry. Oh, oh man. It's so crazy when you realize stuff about yourself. Anyways, until next time, I love you. Thank you to everyone that came and stayed and supported and hit those buttons. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. Until next time. Peace.